So in the summer of 2011, just a few months ago, I was able to travel through Africa for 1 month. I went to Morocco, Mali, and then over to East Africa to Tanzania. We traveled up the entire Swahili coast to the Somali border, covering Kenya. We went to the interior of Kenya, and then we went to Egypt and Ethiopia. And what I saw there was tremendously interesting, concerning, but also relevant to those who are interested in business opportunities in these areas, but also relevant to those local intelligence and security forces and outside intelligence and security forces who are concerned with the confluence of criminality, of corruption, of extremist ideologies, of transnational movements, the movement of people, weapons, narcotics. It's all coming together in several of these places. In East Africa, you have al-Shabaab in Somalia that is showing some indications of linkages with al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, located in Yemen. You also have potential linkages between al-Shabaab in Somalia and the group in northern Nigeria called Boko Haram that's been engaged in a lot of violent activity and fighting with government forces there. These are also linked to al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb, which we find in northern Mali, southern Algeria, parts of Niger, and parts of Mauritania. So you can see these movements are able to cross areas that are safe havens or ungoverned areas like the Sahel region. And when you have developments like chaos in Libya, where you have popular revolutions in Egypt, Tunisia, and again in Libya, these are areas that, while unsettled, with people trying to sort out who's in power, who has the influence, and people are still on the margins economically, these extremist groups can take advantage of this chaos and play in this area and pull weapons out of Libyan depots. They can reach people who feel like, despite the change of government, they're still losing out. On the Swahili coast, you have a Sufi tradition in Islam, yet you have the Salafist extremists in Somalia that are starting to encroach on these areas. Tremendous amount of cross-cultural activity, a tremendous amount of illicit and illicit trading going on. Very difficult to provide security in these areas, especially when you have corrupt governments in some of these places. So what we see is a lot of opportunity, both in business and in governance and security, but also a lot of challenges in those same areas.